Afternoon, good evening. So we can see here that we are in the real time reporting right now for Google Analytics. There seems to be quite a bit of consumption over in the Southwest region right here, and then over here we can see the amount of consumption going on right along. It seems part of Asia and maybe even part of the Middle East. I don't know. There are a lot of circles here, but there's an awful amount of consumption going on right over there, or at least active users for that matter. 87% of which are mobile at this point, 13% of which are desktop. And this is live. This is a stock ticker, if you will. It will tell you immediately what's going on. See 86 to 14%. We just had a shift here. And so I just want to go through a few things for this particular assignment. We know where to find our active users. Of course, audience active users, we have them right here, so that's easy enough. For the geo reports, this is for question 3. For the geo reports, we can look under location. And this is part of the segmentation stuff I wanted to tell you about, is that you can click on continents and you can scroll down. You can see how the states are doing. I'd probably click this so that it's by revenue. You can see $101, $73.75 for Michigan and Illinois. Make sure that you click this so that it's organized by revenue. If you want to see what the top 2 states are. You also want to see in the top 2 states which cities is the traffic coming from. We can click on Michigan. We can do that deep dive. Again, anytime you're kind of like, I need to know more, simply click. And so it seems like Troy, Michigan is doing quite well today. Let's click on revenue. And Sterling Heights. And so again, if we click on these particular cities, we get an even deeper dive. And then we just dive right into Troy individually. So that's kind of where it ends. But you can see here that we can do these really, really great drill downs in a geographic sense, from the U.S. continental into the state, into particular regions, and so on and so forth here. And so for question 4, we're going to click on behavior. We're going to come right down here to behavior, and we're going to be clicking on events, overview, and then pages. So we'll click into this. We're going to go to events overview. Here we go. Behavior, events, overview. And then we're going to click on pages. So we're going to be looking at individual products here and how they're faring. So here we can see Google redesigned Shop by You brand YouTube. We can see men's apparel. We can see lifestyle bags. We can see lifestyle small goods. And again, if some of you are saying, well, what is lifestyle bags? What does that even mean? We can do a click down and we can see what this means. So here it has enhanced e-commerce and contact us. If we scroll out and if we go back and we go to pages, we come down here, we can see, for instance, if we go to the store, we can see that enhanced e-commerce and contact us are up. This might very well be something to do with what's going on with COVID-19. Usually products manifest here. I'm not sure why there's been a change, but that's okay. We can still just go to the pages. The pages themselves will tell us what's going on here. So as you can see here, these pages are visited listed by the URI. So this is the portion of a page's URL that follows the domain name. So it tells us where people are going. If we click on apparel here, yeah, unfortunately, I'm sorry. Usually it's the case that you're able to see individual products. So you would see clothes and hats and things like that. And I'm not quite sure why this isn't working today, but that's fine. So we can go to which event campaigns appear to be doing the best. Again, we can look at total events. We can look at the top events here, and we can look at the percent of total events, and you can figure out which events are doing quite well here. We can also look at top events, but again, they've actually shut that down, which is interesting. So for this particular question then, what you can do here is you can just go to events, go to the pages, and you can just report which events are doing best here, and you can simply use the information right here. And you can look at total events, and that should be enough for you. Because total events will be the amount of times the events occurred, the total amount of times people came to a particular page. And so that should be enough here. Click on, for the next one, if we go to acquisition, we'll go to social and then user flow. We'll click on that right there. Now here, this is kind of the goal campaign. So you can kind of go along here and you can see where the social users flow is. So we can see basket. We want people to drop their stuff in baskets. We can see the second interaction, first interaction, and we can see the starting page. So here you can see where people are coming from through traffic and then drop-offs. And so you can see here where people started. Many people seem to have come, at least during this time frame, from YouTube, and then followed by Facebook, and then Hacker News and things like that. And you can kind of go along here and get a sense of where people are coming from and where people are going here. And so this is kind of the consumer journey map. It's what customers did along their time on the site. We can click under goals and view funnel visualizations as well here. And so if we click on goals, we can get down to conversion, click on goals, and funnel visualization. This is similar, it's just in a different light. We can see here the purchases completed. So remember, all of this is fine and dandy, but we want conversions, we want sales. And so while we're using Google Store here, I want you guys thinking about the fashion stores you're going to be working at. I want you to be thinking about the financial services firms you're going to be working at. You're going to want to be able to tally and see how each customer funnel worked in creating conversions. So this goal was completed in 14 sessions, 1.51% funnel conversion rate. Okay. So we can see we had about 930 people in the beginning. And then we come down to about 14 purchases there. Okay, but this is important to know as we move along. And again, this is within this time frame. And then we have the purchases completed right here. So we had a bit of a bump a few days ago, but it seems to have petered out, unfortunately. Okay, so here we have people who get to the cart, right? So these are the ways in which they've gotten to the cart. We can see Google Redesign New. We see apparel, men, so people are placing these products in their carts, literally. Men's sweaters and jeans and shoes or whatever else the Google Store is selling goes into the cart. But looks like 778 people left. And we've done this before, right, ladies and gentlemen? We've placed things in carts and left. Fine. So only about 152 people placed things in carts and then went to billing and shipping. It's about 16%. So when we get to billing and shipping, about 44% decide to make the to fill in the information at that point. So we lose 85 people. Then we get down finally to payment, 67. We have about 43% who at this point just give their credit card information and are good. And then we have 14 who proceed to purchase completed. And it looks like this review might be reviewing the Google Store experience, if you will. So if we look here at goal flow, again, this is just another visualization of what we looked at here. And so you can play with this and get a really great sense of what's going on with Google. Why are goals necessary in Google Analytics? Again, if you've watched the video, you can easily write down a few lines about why goals are important. Obviously, they couch expectations and they help us to understand what's going on. So Google has all of these particular goals just as a goal overview. And you can see goal completions, percentage of goal completions, and this is a way for us to understand, goal completions being the number of conversions, conversion rate, total abandonment rate. So these are people who are leaving. It's important when you're looking at how effective a campaign is to look at these items. There are a few other things I wanted to show you, just kind of to sum up Google Analytics. And again, we've only scratched the surface. There was more I wanted to show you in class. There was more I had been teaching myself as I'm trying to get as good as I can be on this particular platform because it is just so darn useful. Here we can see as well under audience, we can see I mentioned geography, I mentioned interests, but what we can also see is we can do kind of a clustering based around browsers and operating systems, who's coming on which browser to the Google Store. So we can see these things here, Chrome, Safari, Firefox, and such. With mobile, we can also see on which devices are people coming to the Google Store as well. And we can see that here. And so to kind of sum up everything here, Google Analytics is incredibly, incredibly useful. We can position ourselves to understand acquisition, we can position ourselves to understand behavior, and we can position ourselves to understand conversion. And so it's a really, really nice introduction into social media marketing. I really implore all of you to go get Google Analytics certified. It's something that's on my list for the future. It might even happen this summer, along with getting Hootsuite certified, which is something that we will be learning about in the coming weeks.